Get this going. Typhoon's not done, so if I lose power, you know why. Just keep going. Um, but nevertheless, today is going to be kind of like a Q&A regarding Signal Genesis and press releases and all the new things that Lane has coming out too, with the Reddit, with Twitter, with all the other things he's got going on. Then also, I believe maybe you'll talk about some with GMB posts and managing multiple GMBs and stuff, since you've had a lot of people asking questions about that
Yeah.
on the Facebook groups and stuff. But because, as you know, I've already said I've pulled away from Viking completely. So I'm with everybody else. I'm waiting on you to say go with post management and stuff like that. So
Oh man, I can't wait.
let's see here. All right, we're good to go. All right.
You want to let me? Can I share my screen?
Yep, I'm gonna get you that. There you go.
All right. I hope everyone's doing well tonight and or this morning, depending on what side of the planet you're on. Um, I don't know how many of you guys, maybe in chat, give me a one if you are a Signal Genesis, a user or account holder already, and give me a two if you're not, just so I know who we've got in here and who we don't. All right, good. Some twos that aren't users yet. All right, so it's actually be pretty good. I figured what I'd do first of all, guys, is for those of you who are users, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in chat, and then we'll cover some of those questions that you have. And I've got really no agenda tonight other than to add value to you guys that are here, and answer questions for some of our current users. And then as I do a demo of some, I'm going to actually do a live demo of launching the Twitter and Reddit apps and the social wall for a company. So I'll do that right now to start off. And, maybe as I'm doing that and talking a little bit about how, that'll, maybe spawn some new questions and ideas or what have you. And so we could just kind of go from there. So I'll share my screen here and then we'll get rocking. I've got three screens, so I got to get them all set up here. All right, does that make anyone jealous? Three screens? Huh? Come on. Anyone jealous? No?
I got four, so.
Oh, you need an extra freaking eyeball for four, man.
Yeah.
All right, you guys see my screen?
Yep, we're good.
Right. This is just the middle one, William, just for you, for you four screen freaks. All right, so what I'm going to do here in this one is I'm inside of an agency account. I happen to help with this venture here, so I have all the logins. That's how I'm able to do this here. So I'm in the agency account. I've got the website ready to go here. I just kind of did some of this to get in prep, so I don't have to do all waste your guys' time in prep. So I'm just kind of giving you the quick overview. You want to be signed into your Reddit account. This company didn't even have a Reddit account, so I just created it. So I mean, creating a Reddit account is as simple as having a Gmail account, hitting sign up and hit continue with Google, or using an email, creating an account and a password, and off you go. So, create a Reddit account is really easy, but Reddit is really, really powerful for SEO. It's got lots of authority. Google loves it, and we use it to throw off a lot of really good signals. And it's going to be nice and automated. All you got to do is create the Reddit account and get that ready to go. And then Twitter, same thing. Have your Twitter account kind of signed into, ready to go. This is the website as it is, and here's the back end of the WordPress site. You don't need a WordPress site to do what I'm going to do. You can do this on a GoDaddy site. You could do it on a Doodah site. You could do it on a Joomla. Whatever. It doesn't matter as long as you can publish HTML to a page inside whatever website platform you might be using. You can do what we're about to do. Okay. So in this case, I am doing this for the agency. So when you're in your Signal Genesys account, you're going to manage all of your client entities or client companies under the entities tab. Okay. So for all of your clients, this is where they're going to go. You can either import them right here with an import feature, or you can come down here and add them one by one. Adding them one by one is really simple. You just simply got to fill out this form. But keep in mind that when you fill out this form, everything that you put in here is going to be used in schema markup. All right. So just be aware of that. And so, knowing that, you want to make sure that this information on this form is 100% consistent and accurate with what you have on your GMB listing. And obviously that should be 100% consistent with what you have on your website. But nonetheless, just making sure that you know that what's in here, and therefore the more that you put in here, the more will be included in schema. So, if you don't fill this out, it's like, what William teaches with GMB optimization. Don't just fill the whole thing out, like get it really complete, right? So get all the handles in here. Even if your client doesn't use them, I would say we recommend having them, right? Just from an SEO standpoint, these are authoritative listings. They also should have them for brand protection purposes. I don't want anybody else to have our name, our company name on the Instagram. I don't want them to have our company name on the Pinterest, right? So, from an agency standpoint, advise your clients to at least have these from a brand protection standpoint. From an SEO standpoint, we're going to be using these more and more and more as the year wears on now, as these new app channels come out. Get it all complete, save it, you're done. This is where you're going to manage all of your client entities. Now, for you as the agency, you'll click on your name and you'll come up here to account. You'll go to reseller information, and here's where you're going to manage your agency information and your specific integrations and app channels for you as the agency or the account holder. So just know that you'll manage your specific information here. Everyone else, all of your other client entities up here is where you'll manage them. I'm going to hook these up right now for this agency. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to app channels, and we're going to simply go to Reddit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enable tier 1. So I'm just going to come down here, enable tier 1. Now you'll see here, you are about to enable a trial for Reddit Pros. After the trial will end, the cost will be 0 app credits. So let me just make a note on this for you, for everyone. We are enabling the basic functionality of Reddit and Twitter for free for everyone forever. All right. So you don't even need to pay anything to come in here and enable what I'm about to do. You simply have to come in here, add yourself, right, as an agency, or add your client entity, and then enable the basic Twitter and Reddit functionality by enabling tier 1. So we're going to go ahead and enable tier 1. It's going to just take us right into the connection wizard, it sees that I'm already connected. This is why I got connected before we started doing this. Also good to do this in every time you're going to do this for a client entity. Just get connected first. Once you're connected, then come in and do it. It'll be nice and fast and easy. So I hit allow. Oh, right, of course. Now, we just pushed some things live, and Matt told me we might have some issues with social. So I have a feeling that that's what happened here. So we just pushed a massive push today live, and it was administrative stuff, and he said we might have some issues. All right, Twitter looks like it's going fine. All right, so what happens is as soon as you enable the tier and then you connect the app, you'll see automatically then the feed come right in, okay? So now we're seeing the actual feed from this connected Twitter account. Now what we can do is we can come in here to branded integrations and drop this down. We click choose branded integrations, and now we're going to create the social media code. This social media code's a 1-click. We reveal it, we copy it. Now we're going to go create the social media wall on the actual website. So we go to new pages, add new. Social wall. You can do this inside Elementor too. It's just easier to do it right here since it's just simple HTML code. I drop our code right there. I come over here to page. I'm going to make sure that this is a full width page. Under template, Elementor full width, and publish. And that's about it. We can view the page. And there's the social wall. Now it looks like we got to do a little CSS in here, so I'll have my team go ahead and do that. You shouldn't really have to do that. This has got a pretty full menu up here. If you look on here, it's got a really full menu. And so, that's probably what's happening there. So we just got to do a little CSS or something in there to figure out how to make that. But there you go. You see this, all the Twitter feed is now right here on the website. And then it's got direct functionality with the Twitter account to go right out to those individual tweets. Okay. Now what will happen is, now that that's all integrated here, you'll see it trial enabled here. Now when we go up here and we go to our press release and we want to do a new press release, on step 3 under main channel, you'll also see, geez, of course it happens when I'm doing a live demo. Let me just do one thing real quick here and just, this is what all got pushed today, guys. All of these, this is all new here in terms of administration. So that I have a feeling that this, this is what happened here. We'll see here. That's right. Those are enabled. He's on the right plan. All right, well, everything's done right here. So you will see, let me just demonstrate it in a different, in our other user account. This will make it easier. So when we go to a new press release, what I was just demonstrating, you got to pick a company that's obviously got the Twitter or Reddit app enabled and connected, and then you'll see these options right here. Okay, and so all you got to do is just check mark those like you would the main channel box, and that's it. And then what'll happen is it's going to take your summary from down here and your featured image and your link, and it's going to automatically publish that to your connected accounts. Okay, as soon as that connected account receives the new post with that new press release, it'll then also appear obviously on the corresponding Twitter account, and then as soon as it's posted there, it'll automatically post right to the wall automatically as well. And that's actually what's happening right now for our beta account, which is the Quantum Agency site. So when we post a PR here and include it on Reddit and Twitter here, it'll automatically post out to the corresponding Reddit and Twitter account, and then it'll automatically obviously populate directly into the social wall right here. Okay. So our team will have, I'm sure, these bugs cleared up by tomorrow morning. So I feel bad that that didn't go as seamless as I was expecting it to go on the live demo here, but that's what's supposed to happen here. I'm not sure why it's not showing, that option is not showing up here. I'm sure it's associated with the same bug. That, let me see if I can just, I'll try and connect one more time to the Twitter account too, just to see. Log out here. And just try it that way. And we'll go here to reseller. We're going to go to app channels. And this is again, if we're doing it for our own agency. All right, this time it looks like it worked. Let's see here. Connected there. No, no, okay. Well, that's a little bug we got to work out. All right, so, but that's how you guys do it, all right? I would say wait till tomorrow afternoon so we can clear that up. But you simply just come in here and click on Twitter, enable tier 1, go through your connection process. Once that's done, you can then launch, you'll be able to launch the code from here. You'll grab your code, copy that code, go create that page like we just did here on the WordPress site, and then whatever connected account is in social account is connected, then that social account will show up here. So that one, we only have Twitter account connected right now. Here you can see on the beta one, we've got Twitter, we've got Reddit, we've got Facebook, and we actually have an Instagram connected as well. But it's a beta account. So that's what it looks like. So it begins to just basically bring in an aggregated feed of all the different connected accounts directly into the client site. So now let's talk about why are we doing this? Number one, we're going to throw off a lot more signals off of the target site. All right. So from a signal generation standpoint, we're going to be taking posts that are out on high authority platforms like Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, Google, or Google My Business, Instagram. We've got medium.com. That's basically almost already finished as well. All of these different platforms have a lot of authority. The problem with them is that the posts and therefore all the traffic all goes to these social platforms, and therefore all the authority goes to them as well. So when you do it for yourself as your own agency, or you do it for one of your clients, you post to Facebook or to Twitter or to Reddit, yeah, you can get some traffic off of that. And yeah, you can drive some links through those channels. But by and large, the traffic and the authority and the benefit is all going to Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, or what have you. What we're now doing is we are hijacking that and bringing some of that authority and that authorship of these posts directly to the integrated website. Number one. Number two, we can now drive traffic for our clients or for ourselves. Instead of driving traffic to a tweet or to a Facebook post, we can now drive traffic to our social wall to let our customers or our prospects interact with our social platforms and our social posts directly on our client sites or on our target site. What does that do? Well, it increases traffic, it increases dwell time. Those are more signals, right? The clicks from here out to Reddit or to Twitter, as the case might be, are all being analyzed by Google Analytics as you have that on your site, right? So Google knows exactly what's happening and where the traffic is coming from and where it's going. And now it's going to see the referring traffic coming from your target site to the Reddit account instead of it being wherever else it might be, whether it's in an email or just on the social platform itself. The other thing that we want to do in terms of I'd rather not send my traffic to Facebook or Twitter is because when our customers go there, they get hit with ads, they get hit with competitor ads. And so if we can capture the benefit of the social platforms, the signals of the social platforms, the authorship of those posts that go to the social platforms, the referral traffic to the social platforms, and keep more dwell time on our client or target's website, those are all just really good wins that are all coming off of what seems like very simple integration and a lot of automation once it's really connected. Okay, so that's why we do this. And there's going to be a lot of SEO benefit that comes from it. So if we take this post right here, for example, and I just take this post right here and I copy the title of that, right, which was the title of a press release. All right, so that press release, if we go here to the media room, is right here. 5 things you need to know about white label website providers. That press release went here to Reddit. Now, if I go to Google, let me go to incognito. You guys still seeing this incognito?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to do a search for that title. Here's the Google News site it went to. Here's Patch. Here's the Reddit right here. Okay, so Reddit is now ranking on page 1 for that title. Should see our news and media room probably at the top of page 2 or top of page 3. Was it the other day? There it is, the middle of page 2 now. It was top of page 3. So, this is just, obviously, this is just a title search, not an exact search. If I do an exact search, that's going to change things. but you can see here, Reddit is already on page 1 for that. And it's, it's competing with the likes of Vendasta and some other major, another white label agency there. So that Reddit is, right there just on spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that, just shows you that Google is recognizing this, Google's indexing it, and this social wall integration will continue to improve. We're doing something as we roll out our features. We're also doing something called progressive optimization. So what we're doing is our system is going to, with this integration code, let me explain to you some of the cool technology that this is. And maybe give you a recent case example with Local Viking. Okay. So here's what's happening with Local Viking. Their API got shut down. Everyone was running off of one API. They had no other option there. Their technology doesn't allow for what we're doing right here, and I'll explain. So the only way for them to survive now is they have to take their entire software and make a separate instance for every single agency and connect that agency to their own API, right? That is not doable, right? I mean, you might be able to do it for 50 clients or 50 agencies, maybe 100, but it's absolutely not scalable, because what happens is if you have a bug, you have to go fix that bug on every single separate instance, one by one by one by one by one by one by one. All right. It's just, you can't, it's not scalable on any kind of major SaaS software type of play. Yeah, you could do that as a custom software for a limited finite group of agencies, but that will never scale. That just won't be able to do it. Not to mention the cost that will be hosting all those separate instances separately in order to be able to create separate footprints. And, I mean, it's a mess. Why am I bringing that up? All right. Well, when we have either a bug, like you saw just earlier, that happens with software, or when we have a new feature, or we have a new thing that we're going to do in terms of optimizing, all right, whether it's launching some new markup on this page or launching a new way to, we're going to actually have some new ways to, you can see, you can share this here. You'll see the share button have some new functionality. When we want to do that, all we have to do is make the one change on our back end, and that automatically will push automatically to everyone's social wall or wherever you have that code deployed instantaneously and automatically. We don't have to go do it instance by instance by instance. You don't have to go update anything on your website or your client's websites. Those changes will be automatically pushed through that integration code and make its effect live on the client's website through those two lines of code that we deploy or generate, through the back end here through app channels. So when we want to deploy the media room, we can come in here and we have, the branded integration here. We can create that code. There's 2 lines of code that operates the media room for just this company. Well, there's 2 lines of code running a media room for thousands and thousands of companies. Imagine if we had to go in and fix that, site by site by site, or agency instance by agency instance by agency instance. It would be absolutely a fail. All we have to do with our tech stack is apply that code fix or that new feature set or what have you once, and through this integration code, everything gets pushed automatically and instantaneously. So it's very slick. Any questions that we've got on what I've covered so far? Let me go into the chat here and read some of these, and we'll start hitting some questions. All right, Patrick says, any tips on having an Instagram page optimized to use of Signal Genesys? Well, as you can see here, we're just simply waiting on Facebook and Instagram to approve our app. It's done. It's been over 2 months. We've been waiting on them. Not sure why. I don't know if they're just trying to dig deep and to figure out what we're doing or what, or if it's just how backed up they are or what. But as far as optimizing it with Signal Genesys, I'd have to test this because we don't do it. But one of the things that you can do with Signal Genesys, let me go into a press release and just kind of show, we can maybe test it real quick. is you can use images from your Instagram account. So let's go into a press release. Let's go in here. Let's open up Instagram. Let me just grab an image. Okay, so let me just go in here and click into it and see if I get it here. I'm looking for the copy image address link and I don't see it here, which means it's probably not a public image that Instagram gives us, like we get in a GMB post. So many images, good, kind of a good just tutorial here. Many images online inside these different social platforms and or other accounts are not truly public images, like they require you to be signed in or what have you to get it. And that's how Instagram is. Google My Business is, just pull the same one up here. Google My Business, you'll see these images. You can see copy image address here. That image address, if I go into an incognito window, that image will load because it's a truly public image, right? Now, so this is how you can test to see if an image is truly public and able to be viewed. If it can be viewed publicly like this in an incognito window, then you can use it inside our platform right in here. So I'll show you, go to insert image, just use that as your source. Now this is going to be a do follow image signal that Google loves. I'll put a keyword here. So this would be your keyword here and hit save. And let me just make this a little bit bigger. Then what I do is I'll usually center justify that image, highlight it, and then make sure and mark it up as an image, okay? Now I could actually link this image if I wanted to directly to this post. So I can grab this image post or this post link, right? I can grab this post link here or just click it, come back over here. I can take this highlighted image, go to insert link, insert my link right there. I always open my links in a new window. Why? Why do we want to open our links in a new window? Someone put it in chat. Bounce. Yep, exactly. We don't want to bounce anybody off of our page that they're on, right? So we open up in a new window. It's just going to open up that target link in a new window. We don't create a bounce off of our target page, right? So always open up your links in a new window, no matter what you're doing, unless you want to bounce somebody off that page. Also in that same link, you can see here, you can also put a keyword here. So keyword here as well, right? And now we've got an image, all right, that we're pulling in from a GMB post, okay? Think GMB signal, right? Think image signal and do follow link from a GMB post image, all right? How crazy is that? It's like 3 signals in one, all through an image. And what happens is now we've made that PR or that article, it's gonna look nice. It's gonna have an image, above and below, there's gonna be text, and so what that looks like, when you're, in on a live or published, PR is you got, a video here. This is not a bad, that's a bad example. That one didn't have any images in it. All right, so here's an image here. So, look, these images look nice. They give some space to the press release. They, kind of give you some extra spacing between content. You can do a lot with these images. You can do whatever you want. But these images are obviously going out to a GMB. I would think they're probably going out to. Yeah, so there's those images there, right? So just to give you, so you guys aren't getting confused between the two different companies that I'm switching between here. These images right here, all we gotta do is right click, copy image address, and I can bring these images right here directly into a press release. I can center justify, insert image. I've got my image that address that I just copied. I'd put my keyword here and I'd save. Now I tag that as an image. And then if I wanted to, I could also link that image wherever I want to link it. I could link it somewhere else, or I could link it directly to this post. I could also go back into the back end of my business manager. Oop, wrong one. And go into my posts, and you're going to get a different link in here. I don't know if you guys know that, but all right. So if I'm looking, so let's look for the competent white label service. Let's look at that link. All right, that's a post link here, right? Looking for. Well, maybe I'm just missing it. Those are rejected. That's why they're rejecting all those images. Go to the ones that are not rejected here. There we go. All right. So if I hit share posts, you see how that link is different? It's all right. So this link is different in here inside your business manager versus the one that's actually out here on the actual GMB public side. So you can use both of these different links. So I can come over here and grab this link here, copy it, and then go back to Signal Genesys, and I could link my image there with that link, right? And again, yeah, that's right. And then always open up in a new window and put your keyword in here, okay? So that's how you can use images. As far as the question that someone had about Instagram, as you can see here, we tried to do that, but the Instagram images are not public, so you're not going to be able to use those images inside Signal Genesys the way you can and the way I did with GMB. Obviously, it's better to use a GMB anyway. It's just another GMB signal, so way more powerful than Instagram anyway. You can obviously link to, right now, before our Instagram app is live, you could certainly link to any of these Instagram images, or you could link to that post. And certainly, send connections to that Instagram account or that Instagram post through a press release. So that's one way. And just even use a no follow. I could take this Instagram post, copy that URL, and then come over here and I could, drop a link, in here. I can highlight my anchor text, whatever I want. I can come here to insert link and then just link to that Instagram post that way. Open it in a new window and off we go, right? So that's one way to use Instagram until we have our full integration and app running that way. All right, so. Yeah, any tips on optimizing Twitter account, Reddit accounts, and Instagram account for our clients? Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same principle that Williams taught about GMB or teach about GMB. Fill everything out completely. So let me go to the one I'm signed in on here. And this is just a brand new account that I just created tonight as we were getting ready for tonight. So, but you can see I already started to fill it out. I got images in here, but you can come in here and you can fill out your entire profile. Get all this filled out just like you would in GMB. You can obviously do a lot of copy and paste. I can come over here to the website and, grab about and then go back over here and paste it. And, just fill all this stuff out and get these profiles completely filled out. And Reddit, automatically saves. You don't got to go back and hit a button and hit save, but get all this filled out. You can connect your Twitter account and you can do stuff like that. And in here, I believe there's Twitter, so you can connect to Twitter. So we authorize the Twitter and the Reddit app to speak to each other as well. These are all really good signals, guys. I mean, Google's going to see these different connections. It'll crawl. I mean, obviously, what's going to happen, right? You do it. You do a press release. It creates a Reddit post. The Reddit post goes to the social wall. The Reddit post goes to Reddit. Google's going to crawl that press release, right? It's going to see that Reddit post or that Reddit link. It's going to crawl that social wall. It grows your Reddit account. I mean, if it crawls your profile, it'll see, oh, there's a connected Twitter account. What we want to do for Googlebot is create connections around the entity. All right. Thinking about your clients' companies, just think about creating connections around that entity in as many ways as you can. Every no follow link is a connection. Every do follow link is a connection. Every time you connect another social account to that entity, you're creating more entity authority. You're creating more signals around that entity. And Google's just going to keep crawling that entity's assets more and more, especially as you feed it more content. CSS is handled by you guys. If you have issues on your website, as you integrate things, or our menu went wonky there because it has gone wonky before. So when you have those types of things, yeah, those things are supported by you guys on your side. If you need somebody to support, we can provide paid support if you need that. If you don't have the capability to do it and you just need somebody to help you with that, reach out and we'll try to. If it's a really quick fix, maybe we can do it for free. But if it's going to be somebody where I got to get a developer in there and spend an hour or two, we'll have to charge for it. But at least we have that resource if you need that. Question: what is the difference between a social wall and a media room? All right, that's a great question. So the media room is where all of your press releases are going to go for that entity. All right. Now, press releases, I mean, Google sees press releases as a very specific type of content in its ecosystem. All right. Press releases as a general industry have a flow. There's a process there. And we've improved our process to actually match the real normal process that happens in the press release process. So you go into Signal Genesys, you add a press release for an entity and publish away. When you publish that article, it's going to first publish to the media room. All right. Once it publishes to the media room, our system then begins to publish or push that press release to the different news outlets that we integrate with. About 48 hours after that process is done, you're going to see this in the news section pop into the bottom of the article. Okay. So this only happens in the media room and this only happens for press releases. So that's a distinguishment between social and the media room. The media room is going to fill up with your press releases. The press releases are going to be published to the media room automatically by our platform when you hit publish on the back end. It's a very simple 3-step process: preview and publish. Once you hit publish, our system will automatically publish to the media room and then begin the submission process to all the media sites. That takes about 48 hours. After that process is done, our crawlers identify the different media sites that picked up and published the article, and then our system automatically populates this in the news section. This gives you a couple of different things. Number one, it gives you and the client a visual representation and report of what happened with this article, right? So you have, as an agency, some embedded reporting right in here. Number one, you are responsible for helping them get this content written, whether we wrote it, you had your own writer write it, whatever the case may be. You wrote the article for the client. You published the article to a media room for them, which you deployed the media room for them. You're hosting and supporting that media room for them. Yeah, it's our software, but you're getting all the credit for that. And then every time you publish a press release through the software, it goes to the media room and then out to the news sites and then out for publication and reporting. You can have them come in here, click on these, and it goes out to the news sites. So they can see themselves published on Fox, on ABC, NBC, what have you. That's also reporting. And then obviously when Googlebot crawls this page, all right, it's going to see everything that you've got as it reads this page north to south. It's going to see the links. It's going to see your videos. It's going to see your structured citation. It's going to see your Google Map. It's going to get the signal off the Google Map API integration. And these are all no follow links out to the media sites. Yes, it sees these links. Yes, it identifies them. We're just not going to pass authority out to those news sites with a do follow. So our system automatically tags these as no follow. That all happens automatically as long as you just hit the publish button on the back end down here after step 3. So you go through step 1, choose your target company, select your social accounts if you've got them added for that account or entity, hit continue, build your content, pretty simple, headline, blog headline, body of your content. I usually just copy and paste from the body a little snippet for the summary. I usually will take like the introduction or the first sentence or two for the summary. I'll find another paragraph, grab that for the blog summary, copy and paste. You're going to use your anchor tags here. You're going to tag them as no follow or do follow. Anytime you put a link in the body of the article, that link will show up here under the anchor tags button. You just click on it to reveal your links, and then you just simply mark them here as no follow or do follow. And then, or you can reset them here if you need to. Once you're done with that, you're done with step 2. You go to step 3, drop any additional images in here, choose the main channel, choose Reddit and Twitter if you have those connected, choose Alexa and Google Assistant search if you want to publish into those 2 ecosystems, choose your category that's most relevant for your content, date and time, your sourcing. This is a big feature for us that makes us uniquely different. This is a big part of why we get results too. We are helping you build the EAT profile of your target entity. Okay, so whoever is the target company or entity here, that's the subject of the press release. When we're sourcing this, we're going to source this to the media room. So if Quantum Agency was the target company here, I would take this media room or this media room index page, and I would use this as the source link right here. Okay. What's going to happen then is when these articles are out here on the live site, the source is right here, right? Original source. And we're telling Google explicitly, this is the author. This is where you can find the canonical. I want Google to go and crawl this media room. Boom. Google's smart enough to find this same article here, right here. When it crawls through this media room, finds the article, crawls through the page, and off we go. All right. And then it's gonna, obviously you can see all these are inside in the back end of the code, even though you got to click on the in the news here to reveal that. You want to train your clients to come down here, just go through a Zoom meeting with them one time and say, look, every month, as part of what we're doing for your overall SEO and web presence, we're handling your digital PR strategy. Digital PR and having this media room is an essential component of helping you build your authority and your web presence. Part of what we're doing is we're helping to position your company, your entity as an expert in your industry. We're getting you published in major news outlets throughout the USA. Doesn't matter if you're in Canada or the UK or Australia, these USA-based news outlets have a lot of authority. We're going to be positioning your company as the expert in your services or your industry or your products. And we're going to use these news outlets and this media room and this digital PR strategy as part of your overall SEO campaign to build your entity authority. As your authority as you gain authority, we're going to see better search outcomes. We're going to see lift in rankings, right? That's all they need to understand and know. And you can say, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, you can come every month to your media room. You can see the press. You scroll all the way down underneath the map, click the in the news section, and then you can see some of the sites that we're getting you published on. This is not all of them, and this takes really kind of a 2 to 3 week process that we carry out for you once we write the content. They don't need to know it's all automated for you. They don't need to know that you click a few buttons and all this just magically happens. Let them think it's a pretty lengthy 2, 3, 4 week process, getting all these submissions out, getting them in here to the media room for them. They do not need to know, that it's, it's a few clicks for you. So build up the value, because there is a lot going on that our software is doing, even though it's handling a lot of manual tasks that a human being would otherwise have to do, right? Those are all things that are being done on the behalf of the client. So why a media room? It's got digital PR strategy. It's helping them build the authority. We've obviously got the news site integrations to help with lots of authoritative signals that are being generated off of these news sites. And the way that we're executing on these news sites is 100% different. If any of you have ever used Press Advantage, Press Cable, Press EIM, Press Wire, any of them, you don't get half of the features that you get in here, because our technology is doing some things that just you can't get. You don't get to embed videos in a press cable press release. You don't get to take GMB post images and use those inside of a Press Advantage press release. You don't get to source the press release on any of those platforms. In fact, Press Advantage sources all of the articles to its own newsroom on pressadvantage.com. They're only building the authority of pressadvantage.com. Yeah, they're going to throw off some signals to the target company that's got the newsroom on pressadvantage.com. But what we're doing is we're saying, no, you build the newsroom on the target site, because that's the site that we want to build authority. We want to rank, right? So the newsroom is here in very, very structured ways. All right. So social wall is just that. It's social media posts that are being posted to the social wall. So the media room has press releases. The social wall has social posts. There is interlinking happening, and that will continue to increase as these apps mature, literally over the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks. But what's happening, for instance, when we select Reddit and Twitter here, is now we're interlinking social signals and on-page signals, link signals, and GMB signals all into one. We're grabbing the social authority, or the authority that these accounts have, automatically posting there, and then automatically posting them to the social wall, and then interlinking the press releases and the media rooms together. The other thing you're going to see here is you see this little icon down here under the contact widget. This actually automatically populates here if you have the media room deployed as a second or a third option. So here you see we're on the hosted version of the media room, which is quantumagency.mediaroom.app. Okay. So the .mediaroom.app is a domain that Signal Genesys owns and provides you as a user, and you can launch the media room on a subdomain of the mediaroom.app. Okay, we encourage you to have at least 2 of the 3 different options of a media room deployed. Okay, this is option 1. We call this the integrated version. This is option 2. This is the hosted version. And then WWM is the other version. I don't think that one's live yet because it's not live. I can show you that one on Signal Genesys. So let me show you the Signal Genesys version of that. So option 1 is the media room on the integrated website. So it's the integrated version. Come on, Zoom. And then here's the other two options here. So here's the WWM version, and here's the hosted mediaroom.app version. So if I click on that globe, you'll see www.signalgenesys.com. And that is the same exact media room that is on signalgenesys.mediaroom.app, right? So they're identical media rooms. They look the same. They're identical. Our SaaS software is going to interlink all of these together automatically for you and for the benefit of the target root site, okay? All you got to do is just deploy these 2 media rooms in the back end in your Signal Genesys account. And we recommend to do all 3 if you can, or you want to. You can choose 1, you can choose 2, you can choose all 3. But so what's going to be happening between the social wall and the media rooms as this matures, is we'll just create more interlinking. What Matt told me today is what's going to happen is on each of these individual media room pages, there will be the relevant social stream here. So the Reddit post, the Twitter post, once we have Facebook and Instagram live, if there's a Facebook and Instagram connected, all of those posts will be in a stream here inside the media room article, right? So then they'll be linking together. So what this does is it just creates more signals using the authority of Reddit and Twitter today. And what's coming soon enough is, well, we're still hoping to have GMB reviews live this week. So what that'll look like is when it's live, you'll see it, it'll be white here and you'll be able to activate it. What'll happen there is you're going to be able to, connect it to a GMB listing, and then it's going to automatically suck in all the Google reviews. Number one, you're going to be able to then respond to the reviews in Google with this app. And you're going to also be able to deploy a GMB reviews wall on the client's website. So much like the social wall, you'll be able to have a different wall, GMB reviews. When you click on that, it'll go to a GMB reviews page with all of their reviews there, with direct links out to the specific reviews on the GMB listing. That interconnectivity, Google will find very, very, it'll like that, right? So more signals, more review signals, and the beginnings of our actual GMB management features. You'll be able to manage the reviews there. Matt has told me that we expect, and it's not a commitment, but we expect to have all of the local Viking features and functionality done by the end of October. We're hoping that to have that actually done by the end of September, but GeoGrids is the one thing that we haven't touched yet. That may go fast. It may take us a while. I'm not sure, but we've already got GMB posts basically done, the ability to schedule posts, obviously manage those posts all within basically another app channel. You'll have GMB posts. We're going to ultimately then combine those into a bulk GMB management app that you'll be able to activate for, around the same pricing, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 credits at tops per month, per entity. And you'll have all of that functionality that you had in local Viking, plus everything else that you have already in Signal Genesys today with Reddit, with Twitter, with GMB reviews, with the media room, and then with Facebook and Instagram coming. Medium is coming as well. And lots of other great things. I don't want to throw too much at you tonight, but we've got a lot more coming beyond these that I've discussed tonight. New question 2, does this allow our agency to perform the same distribution services, say, for example, Bright Local? Well, Bright Local is going to aggregators and going to citations. We're creating a citation for you on every media site because this is a structured citation, okay? So you'll get about 30 to, probably closer to 40 citations with one press release. So when you publish a press release and it goes out to about 40 to 45 sites like this, you're going to create about 40 or so citations, all right? Now, those are different than what Bright Local offers. Bright Local offers aggregators, and then they offer all the major directory listings and citation sources. We do have the aggregators app channel coming soon. So that is another integration that we're working on. That'll be another app channel here. You'll be able to just basically click on, activate, and you'll be able to just basically deploy the aggregator listings in here. We're looking at a Yext integration, maybe an Uberall integration as well. So not in the next 2 or 3 months, but by the end of the year, probably yes. You'll be able to do everything that you did in Bright Local. You'll be able to do inside of our app. Other than maybe, I don't know that we're going to have like massive directory listing management. I don't know how much Bright Local does with that or not, but there's going to be a level of that for sure in our app of managing the directory listing. The big picture of where this is going, guys, is as this entity management. You're going to be able to manage everything about that entity and their digital footprint inside Signal Genesys. It'll be connected. It'll be working together in kind of a beautiful synchronous way. And you'll be able to embed or integrate much of that functionality directly into your client's website. And if they decide to cancel on you, all of that functionality can just go dark if they decide to stop paying you. Okay. And so it'll create great stickiness for you as an agency, because so much of the functionality, even on their website, will be running and hosted by a third-party partner of yours, us. And if they don't to pay you, well, then you don't pay the hosting for all these services, and all that can go dark. At the same time, all of this management is responsible for helping drive massive rankings around that entity, that client, in both map packs, organics, and even on these social accounts begin to rank as a kind of holistically around that entity. Do you offer a creativity plugin to help create content for press releases? Well, so what there's two answers to that question. Number one, we do have a write it for me option. So if you want to have the content written for you, you just hit write it for me under that link there, and then fill out that form. So you just click on write it for me, and then fill out this form, give us as much information as possible. This is what drives the cost of it. You can drag the slider for however many number of words you want. And then the turnaround time, do you need it in a quick, 2-day turnaround time, or can you order it 3 weeks in advance? That drives, cost up or down. So we will then write the article. We have a really good writing team, different article writers that will write these articles, and we do a really, really good job. I mean, let's just say that we do not sacrifice on quality. You will be very happy with 3-star quality on our platform. Our 3-star is like 5-star on most platforms. So just as an FYI, try it out if you want, but that's one way to get content written for you. The other answer to that question is a coming soon feature. We have an entire content library that will be part of this overall functionality. The content library will give you several ways you'll be able to create content for an entity kind of on the fly. You'll be able to suck in an RSS feed, any RSS feed, and that will bring in content for that entity that you can then use to however you see fit. We have some image integrations to suck in image content. We do have some templates that you'll be able to use, basically almost like a form. You'll answer some questions, and then our AI writer will actually write a press release for you, given the answers that you give the form or the AI content writer. And you'll be able to suck in content from all of the social accounts that are connected. So all of those things that you suck in from RSS feeds, social accounts, image libraries will come into the content library for that entity. And then you'll be able to just, use that content in different ways for press releases. You'll also be able to use that content to create social posts. Those social posts will be able to just be then, posted to the connected social platforms, create social signals. You'll be able to create blog posts with like Reddit and Medium, Blogger, all of those integrations, and then push out blog posts. So suck in content, create content, and then publish it into the Signal Genesys engine, and then let our engine do what it does in just generating hundreds to what will be thousands of signals with just simply a piece of content once all these things are kind of firing off. All right. Patrick says, Lane, if I run a Facebook ad to a press release, how do you protect the press release from getting a Facebook slap for who knows what? I mean, there's no way to do that, Patrick. I mean, I can't control Facebook. No one can, and Facebook sucks. I hate dealing with them. I think all of us probably share that frustration. I just shared with you a little while ago, we've been waiting for over 2 months for our app to be approved. It's, it's like an app like anybody else's app. So there's no way to really protect it. But I don't see any issue with running an ad to a press release. You're running those to the profile on these sites is, it varies. It's not all the same, but I'll show you here. Just a snapshot of a couple of sites that I have for our slide deck. Because this is what I was trying to achieve. When we were doing manual guest post blogging and manual link building, I mean, I was looking for backlinks from sites like these. I mean, that's what I wanted, right? I mean, I didn't want to go get, guest post blogs from a DR20. I mean, that's what is offered out there is usually 20 to 50. So I was looking for as high as we could get. The more authority, the better. And so, we were just doing all that manually back in 2012 to 2018 before Quantum Newswire launched. Now we have, Signal Genesys is Quantum 2.0, but, this is what we were looking for, was how do we get scale and get efficiencies and get backlinks and other signals off of high authority sites like this. So running a Facebook ad campaign to a site like this, I just don't see that there's going to probably be an issue, but I mean, no one can guarantee anything with Facebook. So that's my answer. Sorry, Patrick, if I couldn't be more specific. Aiden says, curious, is it possible in future to integrate this with IFTTT? Yep, we have an IFTTT channel coming too. We fast track GMB. We have a full-time developer and a part-time developer on GMB exclusively right now because of what happened with Local Viking. We took our some developer resources off of some other things, IFTTT being one of them, just because of the need of the hour. They're just, a lot of people kind of, so that's, we're not done with GMB, man. Obviously, we're going to start rolling this stuff out starting this week. But IFTTT is already in the dev roadmap. And that will obviously open up a whole world of recipes and things you can do if you want to be creative in generating even more signals, especially in tier 2 and tier 3. Okay. Can the media room have followers with push notifications? That's a great feature request. I don't know that I've heard that one before. Aiden, that's a good one. I'll make sure and make a note of that. The media room will have an RSS feed. All right. So I can say that assuredly, because we've already, we already had an RSS feed on our old plugin. So when we had the WordPress plugin, we had an RSS feed off of that. So we have an RSS feed coming for the media room. So that'll be one way that people can subscribe to the media room and get a notification through the RSS feed, but having another way to potentially get notified and subscribe is a good idea. Just taking a note there. All right. In the news, how many news outlets is it pushed to? About 45 to 50. It's growing. Again, it had, we had started to lose a few sites, but we've gotten a number back now too. But it's about 45 to 50. It doesn't go out to 100%. When we submit it as a press release, and we actually don't want 100%. We want this to be an organic process, and we want to communicate that even in our marketing, for reasons, that there's Google wants to see a process with press releases, and if it's not a process, then there's a gaming of the system, then things can be treated differently. So the way that we're effectuating the process is the media room receives the press release from the software, what you do when you hit publish, right? The media room receives the press release. The process of the press release being submitted to the news outlets begins by our software. That process takes about 2 days. About 90% of the outlets will pick up the press release and publish it. And then we are, giving full authorship credit to the target source site from each of those individual sites. And then on the actual media room, in the news section, you're going to see about 30 or so in here. This list is randomized, and it's randomized in order, and it's randomized in terms of which ones show up and which ones are hidden, because it's not the full list here. So this changes literally on a article by article by article basis, company by company. There's an algorithm running the randomness on this. So that way, if the client comes in, you're not going to see the same order, the same logos in the same spot on an article by article basis or every single month. And neither will Googlebot. So that gives you that answer. Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate that. How to talk to agency clients. Jorge says, sorry, I was on a phone call. All of the new users who have come into Signal Genesis since July 3rd, yes, Reddit and Twitter are alive in your account by default automatically because you came into the new platform. All of our Quantum customers who have been grandfathered into Quantum or into Signal Genesis, excuse me, we have to manually turn those features on. And for all of our lifetime customers who are already fully paid, that's a very simple process, and I can do that for you now. We have to run a little algorithm and a little software kind of program to have this handled for our monthly clients and or our lifetime Quantum customers who are still inside their lifetime payment plan. And so for you guys, it's going to be about a week before I can have you on the Twitter and Reddit functionality. So that's everyone's in a different state. If you come in through Signal Genesis on the new Grow plan or the new paid plans, everything's automatically activated for you. So Patrick is saying the Facebook ad again. So if I run a Facebook ad to a press release advertorial on a financial opportunity, if the Facebook algo rep follows the ad to the press release and from there to a VSL, how to protect against the Facebook flag, and if the root domain of the immediate room is flagged, will that affect all of my SEO clients, which are not part of my financial products? Geez, that's a complicated question, Patrick. I don't know that I can say I have an answer. I don't know what Facebook is going to do or not do, nor do I want to try and predict what they would do. So I honestly just would decline to answer that. Maybe we can ask that question with Matt, and then he and I can talk about it and think through it and answer you privately if you want to put in a ticket about that. But I don't think we're going to have a specific answer for you on that one. Can we do press releases in Spanish? No, you can't do them in Spanish so that they're on the media sites in Spanish, because these are English news sites. You can send a link to a Spanish website. Let's just say Google Entities was the anchor text, but I had the link go to a site that's in all Spanish. Yes, I can do that. Or yes, you can do that. You just can't put Spanish, actually in the article on the live news sites. However, we are working on some Latino, Spanish-speaking news outlets for a distribution channel. So that's in the works as well. Why is Google rejecting those links images? Because they're not supposed to be like this. They're really, according to the new Google photo guidelines, they are supposed to be actual images of the location or of people in the workforce at your business. They're not supposed to be, and phone numbers are especially going to flag and get those images rejected by Google My Business. Google My Business, Google appears to be making some changes to their posting feature set. I don't know what yet exactly, but the photo thing that came out at least 6 months ago, maybe more. And that photo change is causing those rejections. Those are probably just all old rejections, or they're part of our social posting and they're going to Google My Business as well as Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And, we're just letting Google reject the post. Not a big deal, because they're on that's on automation as part of it. As far as that campaign, that's why you saw those rejected images in Google. Or it could be too many words on image. Yeah. Or it could be the infographics. All those are things that Google can flag. As you can see, we do get some of them through. It's an algorithm that's running and it either flags it and automatically rejects the image like instantaneously or like within minutes. I've seen maybe take a few minutes. Otherwise, it just gets through. So, just test it. Are those TV stations, news outlets localized, relevant? No, they're not relevant to the market the client is unless it happens by chance. You're lucky. So there's not local relevancy. We do have local relevancy channels coming. That is not a part of our roadmap. That's also why you already see in here when you go to step 3 inside of a press release, you'll see channels there. We channelized this strategically 2 years ago, probably, as part of this, because we have many channels coming. I'll just leave it at that. We have lots of channels coming. And many of those channels will be, there'll be regional USA, regional Canada. We're working on some international channels. We're working on several different things that, over the next, I would say, year to 18 months are gonna just go. It'll be unbelievable what we have planned there. I can't reveal too much there because I know we have competitors watching us and trying to figure out everything that we're doing. But our distribution channel set and the ability to have relevant localized channels and relevant contextual channels, all of that and more is coming. So you'll be very happy for those that are users today, and just keep using it, and day by day, week by week, month by month, it's going to keep getting better. Can you, Delana says, can you release the GMB management features before whatever you're waiting for in October? We are working double time on GB management features. We know the pain in the marketplace, and I know we have GMB reviews and GMB posts essentially 100% done, and just waiting on a few things. GMB Insights also is almost done. Matt said basically posts insights next, reviews this week, insights next week, posts the following week, and then GeoGrids and all of that, the kind of reporting stuff after that. And that's kind of the unknown. So yeah, we're working on it, and believe me, we want to meet that need in the marketplace and also capitalize on the opportunity. So we're working on it. Logan says, after a release, does the news site send beneficial signals back even if it shows 0 hits? Yes, absolutely. It doesn't mean that. So we're doing some very specific things in regards to influencing Googlebot to go and crawl these news sites, and then what Googlebot does with these news sites. So the answer to the first part of the answer to your question, Logan, is yes, absolutely. It's worth it, because you're still going to get signals from that page, even if you're not getting traffic hits from it. Okay. That's a behavioral signal that we're just quantifying for you with our pixel. However, to explain the second part of that answer is, so you guys aren't out looking for, if you've used press cable before, you're going to have a dramatically different experience with our platform. Okay. Let me explain. If you've used press cable before, they even taught you, do your press release and then go show your client all the different news outlets that are on page 1 for the title or for the keyword that you're trying to rank them for. And then 30 days later, all of those news outlets, those results show a 404 error because they're gone. They're news outlets. And the client's left with nothing left but 404 errors for any of those results that were on page 1 or wherever they ranked. To me, that just never made sense. It just was like stupid. Like, I don't want to rank a news site. I want to rank my client's website on page 1, number 1, or their GMB listing. And number 2, I don't want 404 errors. That's a crappy user experience, and Google knows that. And number 3, why in the world would Google want to have, or a user want to have, 4 different results on page 1, all the same exact article? Like, that's not what Google wants. It's not what users want. I mean, 1 result is good, but 4 or 5 or 10, no. So we are specifically doing things with the way that we're influencing Googlebot to crawl all of the pages, to crawl and render all of the news site pages, but to only index 1 maximum 3, but preferably 1 of the 45 or so news outlets that pick up and publish. Okay. All of the news sites, all 34, 5, 40, 45, whatever published the article, all of those are going to be generating signals. All of those are going to be generating authorship signals and authority for your target site, for your target GMB. But we only want 1 to actually index and show up in search results. And that is essentially what you will see represented in search results if you start looking for, the instances of this article on the news sites in the actual search results. Okay. And there is a difference between it showing up in the search results, or what we call the index there, versus Googlebot going to a page, crawling that page, rendering that page, and indexing that page in terms of crawling it and indexing all of the things that are on, or documenting it. That's the other word for indexing it. Documenting all of the things that are on that page that would be signals for it to document in its index. Okay. So just that's a little extra information, so that if any of you guys are out there looking for these and expecting that press cable type of search result, we do not want that. That is harmful to SEO. All right. And so we are doing really the exact opposite types of things there, but with very purposeful coding and signals to Google for EAT and authorship and the sourcing of that content, to give full credit of that content to the target site. All right. All right. I think that's the end of the questions, William. We ran a little bit over, but we had a lot of good questions.
Yeah, if y'all have any more questions, just make sure, because what I'm going to do is upload this video into the back end. Of course, let everybody know, hey, it's uploaded, as well as the audio is uploaded. And once that's done, I will post it in the group. If y'all have any further questions for Lane and Matt over at Signal Genesis, then just drop your questions in the group and everything, and we'll just keep it going. And we will see you guys again, Lane and Matt, next week. And then I will see you guys again tomorrow with the CTR Geeks. And I appreciate everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks. Thanks, William.
Bless.